Kia ora, good morning. Right, sorry, I've just woken up. As you know, I'm just having my first coffee of the day. So if I go quiet, I'm having a sip. But I need to tell you, since I've been listening to classical music, I started, oh, it's turned my life magical. Since I've been listening to classical music for the last couple of weeks, it has completely transformed the way that I write my movies and stories, and that it's turned my world magical. My words feel like they're floating on air like musical notes, and I feel like I'm walking on those musical notes, and it's carrying me away to Switzerland. It's lifting me and carrying me away. I started listening to Rachmaninoff last night, and he blew my mind. I felt like I'd melted into the earth. Oh my God. What a I mean, he was a romantic. He was a romantic composer, and it tells like the difference between him and Bach are quite like oil and water, because Bach is very intense and passionate. And when I was listening to Bach, I felt like I was floating and got slammed to the ground with reality of musical genius and what it really is to be a musical genius. So then I started listening to Rachmaninoff, and he was all like dreamy and heavenly, and oh my God, I'm embarrassed and ashamed that it's taken me this long to appreciate classical music. There was there was orchestral music in my house growing up because my father listened to opera. I'm not a fan of opera. I find I find it irritating. I like choirs, but opera, for some reason, it grates on my brain. I can't explain it. It's not that it offends me or angers me or anything like that. It's a audible thing, because I have very sensitive hearing, and what I hear has a direct response to what I create, and for some reason, opera grates on my hearing. Um, So I did grow up with symphonies and orchestras and all of that, but through my dad's opera, his love of opera. He's the Crows. Morning, Crows. And I'm embarrassed that, I mean, we had my ex used to play classical music all the time, and I loved it. It was beautiful, but I never paid attention. But now I'm paying attention. Now I'm listening. And I'm embarrassed and ashamed that it's taken me this long to appreciate the genius. I always appreciated the genius. I always appreciated their genius, but I just never paid attention until now. And now that I'm paying attention, it's like blowing my creative mind wide open. And I hope that I end up with somebody who wants to take me to symphonies, and who will sit with me in the outdoor arena in the summertime when we have our symphonies, because I'm going to be putting on outdoor symphonies. I'm going to be putting on outdoor concerts. I've decided, and we'll get them out on stage, and we can have it like an hour of classical music where they're just playing, all different kinds of classical music. And I want to have like classical music on my radio show and on my radio at my radio station, and I want to compose with my musicians and my composers, and for my movies and that. And there's this thing going on, if you became a billionaire, what's the first thing you do, or what would you do with your money? And I've always said I wanted to be a philanthropist. I want to give back. I want to pour all my money into the creative arts, fashion, music, writing, all of it, because it's all connected. When you're a creative mind, whether it's in maths or design or programming, art, music, whatever, writing, you're all connected. That's why all the great writers and composers and that had writers and artists and musicians and that as friends, because nobody understands a high funk more than a high funk, and we all add something to the table when we work together, because we all inspire each other, and that's exactly the master maker dynamic that I've been talking about for all these years. When you're around people just like you and they live in the high frequency of creation, the creation frequency, when when they're left to just create with what inspires them, what they create changes the world. Whoever looks at their painting, whoever reads their book, whoever listens to their music, whoever plays with the games they program, that sort of thing, it changes their lives. It has an influence over them that is probably the most ultimate power, which is why I have to demagnetize everyone and get them away from the crap that's been forced fed for them down the Schumann resonance and through AI and Grok and all of that, because everybody's noticing it now. Now that I've been waking everybody up, everybody's noticing the influence that people like Elon Musk and that, and Mark Zuckerberg and the governments and that have over their mind through music and social media and the movies, and they keep doing it. But now people are walking away, and the thing is, when I build my foundation in Switzerland, when I open my gates, people are going to forget that there's a Twitter world and a Grok world and an AI world and a world of surveillance and that, because they're just going to be stepping into my world of movies and books and music and great food and, like-minded company. I long, because I'm going to do like a whole, but through my dating app Spellbound, I want to do like a whole, have it like a dating business, offer a dating service. And of course, one of the things that we're going to offer is picnics in the park, listening to classical music and brass bands, and brass bands at Christmas time and all of that sort of thing. But I also want people to bring their kids down and let their kids, from baby age, from toddler age, come to the park and have the kids running around while they're listening to Rachmaninoff and Bach and Brahms, and because there's two types of music that encourage genius in children, and that's classical music and heavy metal, believe it or not, especially Iron Maiden. If you listen to Iron Maiden, you have a higher IQ than any other rock band music lover, because of the mass that's inside the algorithm of the music. And it's like, I can't do maths with numbers, but for some reason, the maths inside music, I respond to it in a way that it's like, it opens up my brain like a flower, like a lily pad, because lily pads grow in the gloop. But yeah, it opens my brain up like a flower, and then I'm just off. And what I create and what I produce and what I write and what I invent and what I design just ends up being like next level. I can't wait to show you my world. I can't wait to open up the gates and just show you my world, so you can eat my food and buy my products and look, just immerse yourself in my world. I love toys. I'm going to collect toys. I'm going to have a house full of toys. I have bought thousands of toys for my boys. I love toys. And toys inspire imagination. And parents have forgotten that they were children. And when they walk through my gates, we're going to be offering services and things for them to do where they get to be kids again. And I can't wait. They'll forget the adults, they'll forget their adult worlds. They'll get to have fun with their kids. Their kids are going to see them in a new light, whether they're 90, whether the parent is 90 or 22. With kids, their kids are going to see them in a completely different light. We're going to show them who they really are, who they used to be, long before the responsibilities of the world took over. And the kids, my kids, my kids, are going to show them how. The kids are going to help adults be kids again. And I can't wait. And I want couples in their 70s and 80s to come on date nights and, for young love, teenagers, for him to bring her or her to bring him to the foundation for their first date. Maybe have their first kiss under one of my trees or, you know, and then have 30, 40 years down the line them telling their grandkids about how they took their first date at the foundation and had their kiss under the grandmother tree, because the grandmother tree is going to be a magic tree, and she's going to be a fertility tree, and she's going to be a tree that when you touch her you can make wishes, and if you've been good she'll make those wishes come true. So, if you touch her and you're having trouble having a baby, if I've done this right, you'll get pregnant. Or if you're wanting that dream job, or you're wanting to reckon whatever it is you're wanting for, obviously as long as it's common sense, but it's going to be a fertility tree mostly. If you touch it and you want to get pregnant, if you're having trouble getting pregnant, I learned it from Ripley's Believe It or Not in Queensland. There was a statue, an African statue, that people found that when they touched it, I think it was carved from wood, women found when they touched it, they were getting pregnant, and these were women who had been told they couldn't have children and stuff. And I know how to do that. I just have to plant the right tree. I've got bakery items that will help you have, give you a higher chance of having a boy or a girl that you can buy. But if I've done this right, I might be able to grow a tree, plant a tree that will end up being a fertility tree, that when you touch it, it'll help you conceive a baby. But like a wishing tree, basically. But she's mostly for fertility, the grandmother tree. So I'm going to re-listen to Vivaldi, even though I've never been a fan. But I'm going to give it another go now that I have new ears. And I can't wait to show you my world. I want to open everything up and just let you enjoy art in my art gallery, and music in my record store, and in my theatres and amphitheatres, and enjoy the ballet and enjoy plays, and take people back to when entertainment was traditional and wholesome, that all the family could enjoy. We're going to have something to offer everyone. You'll be able to leave your kids to run around the park watching Miss Jodine and friends acting on stage and live performances, and that, while you and your man or your parents or whatever go off and have a meal and a pint at the Alchemist Tavern, or go off and get a massage and a reading. You'll be able to come as a woman, leave your kids with us, go off and have a reading with one of my tarot readers of the month, who I'm going to invite from all over the world, because I have a list that I've been watching with intense interest on YouTube and that, and I'm going to invite them to come over to be like reader of the month at Miss Mouse's Brew House, although I'm just going to call it the Brew House until people know who Miss Mouse is. But there will be like a little thing of her on the outdoor, the signage. So with their little gypsy clothes on. So, I can see it right in front of me now. It's like since I've started listening to classical music, it's become my crystal ball. It's given me clearer vision, not clairvoyant. I mean, kind of clairvoyance, but like I can walk around it. I'm walking around it now. Like I can walk around it. I know exactly how the grounds are going to look and what's going to be available. Classical music changed my life. And I'm just so embarrassed it's taken me this long to understand how important it is that we have classical music in our life in some way, shape, or form. And that's where I'm going to come in. So I hope I have a lot of kids that can play classical instruments, violin, cello, oboe, piccolo, French horn, whatever. Because I really want to put on concerts and I really want to use it in a lot of my algorithms. It really works. It really works. I can infuse it into my biorhythms in a way that is going to wake a lot more people up and demagnetize them. They'll leave my grounds feeling like their souls have been purified. They're going to feel so relaxed and so chilled that when they go home, it's like they're going to, a lot of their problems that are not going to seem so bad or important, they're going to appreciate the finer things in life. The simple things in life are the finer things in life. People have forgotten simple pleasures, and I'm going to offer it to them in a absolute sensory way: taste, touch, smell, sight, sound, thoughts, feelings, everything. And I can guarantee you most people will start pulling away from things like Instagram and YouTube and Facebook because they'll sign up to my services. But yeah, I want people coming back because the thing is, you'll be able to come back week after week, month after month, and experience something new every time. Every month, we're having a different festival, bringing out new products all the time, trying out new foods all the time, bringing in new international flavours in our food halls, and so you'll never get bored. It's like we're going to be like a shape shifting park, a shape shifting ground. We're constantly going to be changing, especially once the movies and games and that start coming out, because then we can start adding the characters and that to the park. And slowly bring it to life, and then by the time I'm dead, we should be just like Disneyland, where you'll be able to walk down the streets and there'll be our characters talking to the kids and having photo opportunities with them, and having like street parades with all the floats with all the movie characters and gaming characters and all that. That's the plan. So I just had to share it. Rachmaninoff. Rachmaninoff, yeah. Sergei Rachmaninoff. Like when I hit play and the first song came on, the first tune came on, it was like he hit these certain notes came out, and I just like my mouth was agog, like, oh, and I hit my chest. Like I put my hand over my heart, like, wow. I might have even said wow out loud, but I was like, wow. And I just felt like I just melted. Imagine having that feeling when you've got the man you love by your side and you're sitting in a park with a picnic basket with my cider and my cheese and crackers and relishes and or fish and chips or a burger or whatever. My chicken from the chicken barn, because I'm going to have a chicken takeaway place called the Chicken Barn, because my chicken's famous. Everybody knew my herb chicken and that. So yeah, I've become all romantic because of this music. It's oh my god. I really hope we find children that can play classical instruments. And who want to join the choir. I'm going to need a choir master. I'm going to need choreographers. And then I can bring it all to life. Because Miss Mouse said so. I can't wait. I had to share it with you. I can't wait to show you my world. I just need, I would just like, not need, I don't need, but I would like to have someone special to share that with. It's like a whole thing. Whoever my investors are not going to be sorry that they invested in me. Because I'm like a kaleidoscope of ideas. I never stop coming up with different ways to make money. So, yeah, they won't be unhappy. And we've got something for everyone, for every taste, for every flavour, for every creed, for every ethnicity, for every faith, for every. We've got something there for everyone, especially with The Art of Creation, my animated TV series. So, yeah, we're going to be a melting pot. It takes all kinds of vegetables and ingredients to make a stew or a soup. And yeah, it takes many things to make bread rise. Oh my god, I wish I could tell you everything, but I can't because of people like, well, the thieves. But I want to hurry up and get out of here now, please. Get me to Switzerland. Get me to Switzerland. I'm ready to go. Come on, Lord, I'm ready to go. Chop, chop. I can't wait to show you my world. I'll speak to you later. Ka kite anō.